What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Dante again. Um, I got more stuff to talk about. I've been on this Mayweather Pacquiao tip for like the last couple of weeks. It's the hottest topic in the sport, and I'm still pissed off that I'm not going to be able to watch the Lamont Peterson Khan fight this weekend. The only fight I got this weekend to watch is Serrano versus Kareem Mayfield, which is actually a really good fight that's going to be on ESPN. I'm looking forward to that. Like, if you guys know, I'm a real big boxing fan, so that's what I'm going to be watching this weekend. And that's probably the reason why, I, I feel that there's so many things to talk about when it comes to Pacquiao versus Mayweather. You know what I mean? What I want to talk about today is comparing Pacquiao and Mayweather's opposition. You know what I'm saying? Comparing the performances between Pacquiao and Mayweather. A lot of people they call it the pyramid fact. You know what I mean? The pyramid theory. What that basically means is, does it mean that one fighter is better than the other because he did better against a certain opponent, right? Um, for example, Mayweather, he just fought Miguel Cotto, and naturally, people are going to automatically start comparing how good Pacquiao did to against Cotto versus how good Mayweather did. Now with the pyramid theory, I think to a certain extent it will tell you sometimes, who's the better fighter. Only to a certain extent though. You know what I mean? For example, when you take Ricky Hatton, Oscar De La Hoya, and you say who did better, Pacquiao or Mayweather? Pacquiao, he did better. Pacquiao, he did more damage. Pacquiao, he stopped Oscar De La Hoya. Mayweather didn't, right? He stopped Ricky Hatton earlier than Floyd Mayweather, right? But does it prove that Pacquiao is better than Mayweather? No, it doesn't, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because what Pacquiao did was he knocked him out earlier. Pacquiao is a knockout artist. Floyd Mayweather is a boxer. So it's obvious that a person who hits harder will probably do more punishment or more damage when they land the punch, right? Example, Joe Frazier versus George Foreman. Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. Who did better? George Foreman annihilated Frazier in what? Like 4 rounds? He knocked him literally off his feet. Knocked him down about 4 or 5 times. Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier 3 times and never could even knock him down. Right? What happens when Ali and Foreman fight against each other? Ali knocks out Foreman in 8 rounds. So see, the power part of it doesn't really prove anything. Now to me, this is when it proves something, the pyramid theory. Now, when you have a situation like, let's compare the Marquez fight, right? Pacquiao fought Marquez 3 times. And to this day, Pacquiao is scratching his head saying, how the hell do I beat this guy, man? I just can't figure this guy out. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, he goes in there, and just keep this in mind. Floyd Mayweather, he fights Marquez at the exact same division that Pacquiao fought him in. Because you remember, everybody was, all Pacquiao fans, or Mayweather haters, they were saying, oh, Marquez was too small for Mayweather, et cetera, et cetera. All of a sudden, Marquez, a 2-year older Marquez, is fighting Pacquiao at the same division. And I'm telling everybody before this Marquez Pacquiao fight, I'm telling you guys, this fight is going to be close. It's going to be just like the first 2 fights. It's going to be close. Now see me, I'm all around boxing. You know what I mean? My kids are boxers. I used to box. I'm all around the sport. And the gym my kids coincidentally go to is a straight pure Pacquiao gym. And I was telling everybody at the gym, I'm telling you guys, this fight is going to be close. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be very close. And everybody at the gym, everybody, including the coach and everybody, they were telling me, "Are you crazy?" They was like, Pacquiao's going to destroy Marquez. He going to knock him out. It ain't gonna go no more than 3, 4, 5 rounds at the most. And I'm just shaking my head, because see, the way a lot of Pacquiao fans think, you know, as far as I'm concerned, and don't take this, offensive, Pacquiao fans, but a lot of them, they don't really base things off of boxing skills, if I could put it that way. They kind of go off of their heart, you know what I mean? And they kind of go off of their pride, you know. And so instead of looking at the whole styles make fights, type of, approach, what they like to do is they look at the fact that Floyd Mayweather beat Marquez easy, and they look at Manny Pacquiao and they say, if Floyd can beat this guy easy, then then Pacquiao can do whatever Floyd can do better. That's how they look at it. You know what I mean? They look at it just like that. So they automatically assume, forget about the fact, they don't even think about the fact that everybody Pacquiao had been fighting in the last 2 years were just flat-footed, slow fighters who come forward face first, leave themselves wide open, and Marquez is a total different type of fight, which I was trying to explain to him. They don't look at it that way. They look at it as like it's 2 years since Pacquiao's second fight with Marquez, and in 2 years Pacquiao has gotten so much better. And I used to always ask people, how do you know that Pacquiao has gotten better? How do you know he's gotten better? Because Pacquiao hasn't fought a fighter who fights like Marquez since he fought Marquez last. So how do you know he's gotten better? Him fighting Margarito, Cotto, Ricky Hatton, that doesn't prove that he got better. That proves that styles make fights. So like I said, I'm telling everybody, you know what I'm saying, Pacquiao is going to have a hard time with Marquez. And it turned out I was absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I feel that fight, a lot of people feel Marquez won the fight. I feel personally it could have went either way. You know what I mean? I think Marquez should have stepped on the gas a little bit more in those last 2 rounds, and he didn't do it. And I think that was the difference in the fight. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, when you make this comparison to Mayweather and Pacquiao fighting the same opponents, you have to remember, Mayweather, he fought Cotto, and Pacquiao did more damage, but Floyd Mayweather, he clearly won the fight. You know what I'm saying? He clearly won the fight. There's no one disputing that he lost the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's equivalent to a slam dunk versus a layup. They're both 2 points. So, so it doesn't matter which one is more impressive. But when you make the comparison of when both Mayweather and Pacquiao fought Marquez, that's when it becomes more relevant to trying to prove who might be more better, who might be more skilled, who might be more smarter, right? Mayweather goes in there, he beats this guy easy. It's a sparring match, right? He's smiling all through the fight. He's beating him easy, right? So now, to me, this proves that when you can beat somebody who's intelligent, someone who's a thinker, someone who will frustrate the average fighter, and you can outthink them and frustrate them, to me, that proves more of who might be the better fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because, let's just make the comparison real quick, right? Now, the comparison is, a lot of people will say, which I agree, Marquez is a counterpuncher, boxer, right? His style is very similar to Floyd Mayweather's. Only thing different is Floyd does everything better than Marquez. Floyd is taller, he's younger, he's stronger, he has a better reach, he has more speed. Overall, he's a better skilled fighter, right? So so when you make the comparison, you're saying that Floyd Mayweather is Marquez, but 3, 4, maybe 5 times better than Marquez, right? You can't say the same thing when you look at the few rounds that Cotto won against Mayweather. You can't say that Manny Pacquiao fights like Cotto, because Manny Pacquiao does not fight like Cotto. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao is not an inside fighter. Manny Pacquiao is a long range fighter who paws with the jab. He's trying to land left. If you try to come in, if you try to come in head first, Manny's gonna catch you with a lead right hand. You know what I'm saying? Manny, he's gonna feint you, and then once he gets you out of position, he's gonna run combinations off on you. That's not Miguel Cotto. Okay? They're two total different fighters. So you can't make the same comparison, Mayweather fighting like Marquez versus Pacquiao fighting like Miguel Cotto. Pacquiao does not fight like Cotto. What was Miguel Cotto's most effective weapon against Mayweather? And probably only weapon. Cotto's most effective weapon was his jab. I had been telling people before the fight, you know what I'm saying? Miguel Cotto has a terrific jab. If you look at, and I was telling people, if you look at the Mosley Cotto fight, I was so surprised because Cotto was out jabbing Mosley, right? He has a terrific jab. And the thing is, because of his jab and because his jab busted up, Floyd Mayweather's nose, it's funny because it almost seemed like people looked at Floyd Mayweather like he was Ivan Drago, like he was a machine. Like, oh my God, he's bleeding. We got him to bleed. He's really human. You know what I'm saying? That's how people act. When I had a big fight party, and like I said, all my friends from the gym, you know what I'm saying, which were all Filipino mainly, they came and watched the fight. A lot of them, they hate Floyd Mayweather. So we're watching the fight, and when they seen, and I'm sure just like everyone did who doesn't really like Mayweather, or maybe if you like him or hate him, it's just surprising that people seen blood on Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when we were watching the fight, man, they were just going crazy. They were going crazy. Oh my God, he's bleeding. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, it's funny because all it was a jab. That's all it was a jab that was making Floyd Mayweather bleed. That was the only punch that Cotto could really land in the whole fight. Even HBO judges, Harold Letterman, he had the fight 9 rounds to 3. The fight wasn't close at all. But of course, just because you see this machine bleed and you find out that he's human, it makes people feel good. You know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm making is you cannot compare Manny Pacquiao. You can't say, oh, Manny Pacquiao, if Cotto can make him bleed. Manny Pacquiao doesn't have a jab, guys. And we know this. Manny Pacquiao does not have a jab. Manny Pacquiao, he paws his jab so that he can land his left hand. And then so he can land flurries eventually. Not only that, but if you really want to make a comparison and try to compare how Pacquiao did against Cotto versus how Mayweather did against Cotto, you also have to remember that Mayweather fought Cotto at Cotto's own weight. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather actually jumped up and it wasn't a catch weight. And he fought him with 10-ounce gloves, which like a lot of people call pillows. Even Larry Merchant himself calls them pillows. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big difference. And not only that, but you also have to look at the fact that when Manny Pacquiao fought Cotto, Manny fought Cotto right after a devastating knockout that Cotto had with a cheating Margarito that had bricks in his hands. He fought Cotto right after that fight. You know what I'm saying? And even Cotto himself has said that he had completely lost all confidence after that fight. And he said he didn't get the confidence back to after he avenged that loss and beat Margarito, which is coincidentally the time that Floyd Mayweather jumped up in weight to fight Miguel Cotto. So, it's unfair to make that kind of comparison. Keep in mind, guys, Manny Pacquiao was originally scheduled, or I shouldn't say scheduled, but he was trying to make a rematch fight with Miguel Cotto. The reason why the fight never happened? Because once again, Manny Pacquiao wanted the fight
in the rematch to be at a catch weight. And I feel that Miguel Cotto, he obviously learned from the first fight that it doesn't benefit him to come down to a catch weight and meet Manny Pacquiao's demands, which obviously gives Manny Pacquiao a well needed advantage. I actually think a Pacquiao Cotto rematch would still be an interesting fight at 154 with no catch weight. I think at 154, no catch weight, 10-ounce gloves, just like, Mayweather did, I think the fight would be much more competitive than obviously the first Cotto Pacquiao fight. I think the rematch would be more competitive than the Mayweather Cotto fight. I'm not going to give a prediction on who I think would win, because the fight probably will never happen. If it does, I will make a prediction. But I think the fight would be a lot more competitive than both, like I said, of the Mayweather and the Pacquiao fights previously. You know, it's a different ball game when you're fighting at someone's full division and you got 10-ounce gloves on. You have to change your whole strategy, and not only that, but like I said, we're talking about the old Cotto. Even though Cotto did lose against Floyd Mayweather, everyone's saying on the streets that, and I agree, that looked like the undefeated Miguel Cotto. That looked like vintage Miguel Cotto. It didn't look like a guy who was unsure of himself like he admitted he was. You know what I mean? That looked like that undefeated Miguel Cotto. So, I would love to see Miguel Cotto fight probably Canelo, you know, somebody else up there at the top, work his way back. Maybe Andre Berto. I'm not Andre Berto, but Ortiz. Ortiz is talking about he wants to fight him. I see a lot of good fights out there for Miguel Cotto, and like I said, he did good against Mayweather. To be fighting the best fighter pound for pound in the world, he did pretty good. You know, so guys, I'm gonna pretty much go ahead and end this. This was just a little bit of talk to, like I said, make the comparison of Mayweather and Pacquiao's performances against the same opponent, you know. So, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, I think Mayweather is a much better fighter than Manny Pacquiao, much better fighter. But anyway, I know the Manny Pacquiao fans, they are gonna go crazy, you know, and hate this video, but that's fine. Just go ahead and leave your comments, tell me what you think, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys on the next video. Peace out.